Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video we're going to be covering the changes coming to White Mage in Final Fantasy XIV's next expansion, Shadowbringers. This information comes to you from the North American media tour that I recently attended. But keep in mind, any of this can change before the launch of Shadowbringers, whether it be potencies, effects, whatever. We'll put a watermark at the bottom of the video, and then we'll get started. So White Mage has been given plenty of new options, both for healing allies and for dealing more damage. They've had their Lily gauge reworked, and Plenary has also been changed completely as well. They even got a new fancy looking animation in the job action trailer for wings, which we'll explain in a little bit. First up, the things that have maybe just changed in potency or only slightly changed. All your basic cures 1, 2, and 3, Medica 1 and 2, Presence of Mind, Regen, Tetra, Benediction, Assize, Thin Air, and Raise are all functionally the same, even if they have minor potency changes. There were also a few things that were removed going into Shadowbringers. I was sad to see that Arrow 3 is gone, so no more of those AoE arrows at the start of the fight. You still have the single target one though. Also, Repose is no longer a White Mage exclusive action, so it's technically removed. It's a healer role action, which means you'll still have it, but just figured it was worth mentioning. Secret of the Lily 2, the trait, has been changed. It's gone because the Lily gauge is completely different now. Also, those enhanced mind traits, those don't really matter. Now, there were 5 skills that saw some form of adjustment, most of them fairly minor, and a couple of them very noticeable. Fluid Aura no longer knocks back, it just binds now. Okay. Holy no longer has fall-off damage, its potency has been normalized at 140, and don't worry, it still has that stun. Divine Benison is now a shield that is equal to a 500 potency heal, as opposed to being based on HP or max HP like it was in Stormblood. Also, I should mention that because lilies have been reworked and Benison was originally a lily skill, that none of the skills that previously would consume lilies, none of them consume lilies anymore. The new skills that you got are the ones that interact with it, none of the old skills do. Plenary was reworked completely. Now, instead of all those stacks that you have to get when you AoE heal, when you cast Plenary Indulgence, it'll put the Confession buff on you and any ally nearby. Now, Confession will actually explode for a bonus heal if any of the targets with it are healed by a Medica, Medica 2, or Cure 3. So now, instead of having to, generate the stacks, then press Plenary in order to consume the stacks, it's just put Confession on the targets and then cast an AoE heal, and it'll just be a bonus on top of it. Finally, once you get to level 78, Asylum gets an additional aspect because of a trait. It now also gives everyone inside of the Asylum 10% more healing received from actions. Nothing too major, but it's something. Now, as for White Mage's new skills, it's a mix of 1 new personal buff, 2 new evolved offensive skills, and 3 new skills that have to do with the Lily gauge. Let's cover the non-Lily skills first, and then we can go over that in its entirety. The new upgraded skills are Dia and Glare. Dia is Arrow 2 upgraded, and Glare is Stone 4 upgraded, so no more giant rocks being thrown at enemies. This transformation happens at level 72 for both spells. At max level, they also get a new personal buff called Temperance. Now, this is the one that gives White Mage's wings in the job action trailer, and it increases healing magic potency by 20%. It also reduces the damage taken for yourself and nearby allies by 10% for 20 seconds. It's important to note that it doesn't mention this not overlapping with all the ranged physical DPS skills, Shield, Samba, Tactician, and Troubadour, so it could theoretically be used in conjunction, though that's probably a bit overkill. Now, the next 3 skills entirely interact with the new Lily gauge. So lilies in the previous expansion, you used to have to cast certain spells to generate lilies while people were missing HP, and they'd automatically be consumed when casting certain abilities to reduce cooldowns. Now the Lily gauge automatically generates 1 lily for every 30 seconds that you are in combat. It can hold up to 3 lilies, and by expending these lilies, you can nurse the Blood Lily to activate an additional skill. The 2 skills you have that consume lilies are Afflatus Solace and Afflatus Rapture. Afflatus Solace is a single target heal that consumes 1 lily on the global cooldown. This will nourish 1 charge of the Blood Lily. Afflatus Rapture also costs 1 lily and is just an instant AoE heal. So basically, since these are both on the global cooldown, they're a means of giving you a bit more mobility and also saving yourself a bit of MP. With these 2 skills on top of what you already have in terms of MP, regeneration, and the size and all that stuff, it looks like White Mage is going to be pretty hard pressed to ever run out of MP. Now, once you've nourished the Blood Lily 3 times, you will be allowed to cast Afflatus Misery, which is a powerful offensive AoE skill on the target with gradual fall-off damage. It's also on the global cooldown, but it's essentially the White Mage Foul, or the White Mage Xenoglossy. I guess Foul because it's technically AoE. But it's just a new offensive skill to use your Blood Lilies with. So it takes, 90 seconds to get 3 lilies, so you'll get this once every 90 seconds approximately. As for traits, there really isn't anything we haven't already mentioned. Lilies and the Flatulous Misery ability, those are both involved with traits. Asylum we mentioned earlier, and then there's all the Stone Masteries and Arrow Masteries. Free Cure is still around. So we've essentially covered all the traits. White Mage, on the surface, hasn't really changed a whole lot, but we need to see how it interacts with the new dynamic of the other 2 healers who have undergone very, very severe changes. It seems like White Mage has a little bit more personal offensive capabilities than it did before, and it still looks like it's the king of pumping out pure heals. The problem is that just hasn't worked in previous expansions. So unless the raid damage has gone up, which I will be talking about in another video, I'm hard pressed to see how this is actually going to go about working. We'll just have to wait and see, because I actually thought this felt amazing, especially in the dungeons and the skills and the way they look, but that is not in any way indicative of how it's going to operate in the actual endgame. And with that, thank you for watching my video covering White Mage. A quick shout out to all the fellow members of the North American content creator community who attended the Final Fantasy XIV media tour. I had missed a bunch of stuff traits-wise for a bunch of different jobs, and I'm reminding you that there's a ton of other people making content from this event, and they assisted me in just various videos throughout this waiting for this embargo. So be sure to go check out their videos, check out what they have to say about all this stuff, and get as much perspective as possible. Anyway, thank you to them, thank you to you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care.